Let's try and take you back to the Bloemfontein Magistrates Court. Dr. Nandipha Magudumana denied bail. Let's speak to our reporter, Linda Mnisi, who was in court. Linda, good morning to you once again. The applicant is a definite flight risk. Therefore, her release on bail may not necessarily serve the interests of justice. How did she react?
Well, Oli, it was very difficult to read, of course, her emotions after that judgment was handed down. You would have seen her interacting with her lawyer, after that particular ruling, but seemingly showing a smirk or a smile speaking to him. You would have seen earlier when she arrived in court also, smiling and somewhat praying and singing in the dock in anticipation of that ruling. I'm joined now by the NPA spokesperson Phaladi Shuping. Dr. Shuping, as the state, you must be pleased that perhaps the submissions that you made were enough to oppose bail for Dr. Nandipha Magudumana.
Definitely. From the onset, we have been saying it, that it would not be in the best interest of justice for her to be released on bail. In judgment that was delivered by court today, the court agreed with the prosecution that she is not a candidate to be released on bail, because the court even stated clearly that no matter what kind of conditions are going to be attached to her release, the possibility of her being a flight risk is there. Hence the decision not to release her on bail.
It seems at the heart of the judgment today, much was considered around her allegation that she was kidnapped out of the country, and the court saying, well, there is no evidence that supports that she was kidnapped. In fact, she is not facing any charges related to crossing any borders. Therefore, she has no reason not to disclose the contents or the circumstances of her kidnapping to the court. It seems through that, the court says she then has means to leave the country and no bail conditions could be enough.
Yeah, that's one of the arguments that was advanced clearly by the prosecutor, in that when she allegedly left the country, there is no indication that she used her passport, but upon her arrest there is a passport that was found in her possession. But that passport was not used, so it clearly indicates that she's got means of leaving the country without using her passport.
Mm-hmm. And the issue around influencing witnesses, the magistrate clearly pointing out that, there are traces of deceit in her words and lies in the alleged crimes that she allegedly committed, which would then, influence the witnesses.
Well, the magistrate made it clear that the allegations that were presented before the court by the state is that the accused number 4 and accused number 5 are the alleged masterminds. So it simply means that they are the people who planned the whole thing. And they had a lot of influence, in that they even influenced, allegedly, some of the officials that are working for Mangaung Correctional Center in an attempt to assist Thabo Bester to escape from prison. Hence, there are about 12 people or so that were arrested in the case.
It seems the court also saying releasing her on bail, which is one of the interesting points, would give her enough time to facilitate another escape.
Yeah, that's what the court said. The court said it would be better for her to remain in custody, because if she is released on bail, she will have enough time to plan the assist, considering that there will be a transportation of accused number 5 from Hosimamporo to Bloemfontein every time the case has to appear before the court. So that's one of the things that the court took into consideration in denying her bail application.
But then there's still the issue around the Supreme Court of Appeal application. She has not withdrawn from that. It seems the next step then is that before the appearance on the 11th of October, you are seemingly opposed to the application that she's brought, obviously appealing the ruling that was made by the Bloemfontein High Court. How sure are you that she will get through with that? Because it seems one of the things that she raises is the issue around consent, and how there is no legal position around consent.
Well, what we understand is that there is a petition that she submitted to the Supreme Court on the 17th of last month. But our intention as NPA is that if it comes to a point where we have to oppose even that petition, we're still going to do it the same way that we opposed the release on bail application, the same way we opposed that civil application in the High Court about 2 or 3 months ago.
All right, thank you so much for your time. That's Phaladi Shuping from the National Prosecuting Authority, giving us reaction there to the judgment that has just been handed down. Dr. Nandipha Magudumana found to be a flight risk and that no sufficient bail conditions would stop her from facilitating yet another escape, but also leaving the country. So I'm joined now for more reaction. Thank you so much for your time. You've been attending this case, and one of the people that know every step of it is yourself. You've literally also been supportive of the Bereng family. What does it mean to you, not only as a political party, but also being so close to the family that Dr. Nandipha Magudumana has been denied bail?
You know, today, on behalf of the family, on behalf of my party, Mnisi, and to the South African people, we feel so relieved that this magistrate court really restored the dignity of this institution, because it's clearly from the beginning, Dr. Nandipha, she was never honest about anything. I think when she applied for the bail, we were expecting at least that she will come up, you know, to be honest and plead guilty, because there was a lot of evidence that clearly shows that she's responsible of getting those cops from the government mortuary, of which as Section SA, we opened criminal charges against the Department of Health because they're responsible to govern the government mortuary. Even the correctional service, how did the body landed up in G4S? So we're excited, and we still believe that Nandipha is one of the people who play a pivotal role in this campaign of making sure that Thabo Bester escaped and Kato Bereng was used as a decoy. So she must be held accountable and she must remain in jail. I'm so disappointed that she's a mother, but she doesn't have, and the other thing, being a professional person, I happen to be a professional nurse. One of the oaths that we took is to respect human life. But according to what I see, what I've been listening, she doesn't have a respect to human life. That's why after 4 months being in prison, she never demanded even to see her own kids. So it clearly shows that she's not an honest person. She has lost touch with reality, but I also want to applaud our investigation officers for making sure that they were in detail with their investigation on this matter.
All right, thank you so much for your time. Those are reactions slowly coming out from the Bloemfontein Magistrates Court, reacting, of course, to the news that Dr. Nandipha Magudumana has been denied bail. But it seems this will not be the end of her legal steps, the legal steps that she's taking to challenge all these proceedings. You'll remember, like I said earlier, with the NPA spokesperson, there is a petition that has now or since been filed at the Supreme Court of Appeal. They indicated that they were going ahead with that. It's in relation to, of course, that application that she brought in the Bloemfontein High Court, citing that her arrest was unlawful and therefore no criminal court would have to exercise criminal jurisdiction over her. And it seems one of the pertinent issues that seems to be driving that appeal in the Supreme Court of Appeal is the issue around consent. You'll remember they said that she had consented to being brought back, and it was on those bases that the Bloemfontein High Court ruled in the state's favor. But she says there's no legal principle on what, or legal standing rather, on what consent should be or should look like. Should it be in writing? Who should it be given to when you're consenting to a process like that extradition that we saw, which the court found was an extradition disguised as a deportation? So this is certainly not the end. I mean, we're yet to hear the outcomes of that particular petition, and more likely to hear how the investigations are going to continue in this particular matter, considering the fact that this case will be back in court on the 11th of October.
Mnisi giving us a wrap of the proceedings at the Bloemfontein Magistrates Court. Thank you very much indeed.